Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. In today's video, we are taking a look at the recent daily breakout of the macro 8-month-long downtrend. The macro implications, macro top dates, short-term possibilities, and so much more. By the end of today's video, you'll have a detailed and well-rounded understanding of everything you need to know about the recent breakout, where the price action is likely to go, the macro expectations, and even the short-term charts. Before we get into it, smash that like button, hit that comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos of Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, pure raw TA. If that is the kind of content you are interested in, join us on Telegram. We post daily updates with analysis, educational posts, exclusive charts, daily videos, and everything you need to know about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and the relevant economic news. And if you are interested in taking your trading to the next level, you can join us on Telegram in our VIP group with nearly 700 members. Contact me via the pinned comment by clicking my name or these links for more information. You'll get access to trading setups with exact entry prices, exact targets, exact stop losses, trade justification, and exclusive analysis, as well as access to all of our group chats, our general chat, our trading chart and education chat, our daily video help, analysis, news, and video chat, guys. Check that out, guys, if you were interested, and let's jump on into the video. So taking a look at the price action, Bitcoin has seen a daily candle breakout of the macro descending channel range high. And this is a pivotal moment for the price action of Bitcoin, as it is representing for the first time since March, since this consolidation started, we have seen a close which could facilitate a continuation upward to a new all-time high. This is a break of the structure. It is a change of character in the price action, which opens up the possibility for that continuation at a much higher probability. Now, we do still have some critical levels of resistance we need to clear. If we're taking a look at the daily chart, we have got our prior daily highs, which we are sitting within at the moment, as well as this major resistance range as per the VIPV, which initially and finally drops off around 72,000 upwards, but between the prices of 68 to 72, we do have an area of historical resistance where these prior levels of rejections mainly all developed within. Now, if we are able to break through 72,000, that is really when the new all-time high is going to set in for Bitcoin, and we're likely going to see explosive continuations as we approach and enter that low historical resistance range. So although Bitcoin is seeing a fantastic breakout, we are not expecting a vertical candle to the moon. This isn't the start of a parabolic move in essence initially, but it has the makings to turn into that. It has the makings to eventually develop into a move that will take us into the all-time high, and we're discussing that in today's video. So moving over to the market data to start off, looking at the 24-hour volume. 24-hour volume is up 5% at 125 billion. 24-hour liquidations down 28% at 124 million. Of the 124 million in liquidations, 40 million coming from longs, 72 million coming from short positions. Moving over to the DXY, taking a look, the DXY has come up very close to our prior change of character. We said we were looking for a retest of this red line. We have come very close to it. We are actually still watching for that red line to see a rejection. Again, if we break above the red line, expect a continuation for the DXY. This would be bearish. If we reject here, we are expecting corrections all the way back down to these weekly lows at 100, which could facilitate the macro continuation downwards to 95, which would be incredibly bullish for risk assets. Overall, a strong rally for the DXY, but approaching a critical resistance where a reversal could take place, which is perfect timing for the Bitcoin breakout. The S&P 500 is still looking fantastically strong, sitting at 5,906. Again, provided we sustain these weekly highs, we are expecting macro continuations to 6,000. Only upon the breakdown of this weekly high at 5,700 would we expect a higher time frame correction back to our yearly lows. And if we lose our yearly lows, we are expecting then a bear market to start. But again, like we have been saying, 6,000 is going to be the most likely target for the S&P 500 and what we are expecting initially. So in today's video, we are going to be going over the macro charts, discussing in full detail this daily breakout. What does it really mean for Bitcoin? Where are our next resistances? What is Bitcoin likely to do next? And even discussing the possibility for fake outs, and at what point would a correction invalidate this macro descending channel formation? How low can Bitcoin really go from this point here while still remaining bullish? We are also going to be taking a look at macro top dates based on two theories I devised over a year ago, the 12 and 18 bar theory. We're going to be taking a look at that to talk about when Bitcoin could potentially top based on dates as well as the weekly technicals. And we'll be finishing up on the short-term price action, discussing the current uptrend and risk of correction, and as well as the total market cap. So before we get into it, guys, if you do want to support me and support the channel, as well as supporting your own trading, if you want 15% discounts on all your trading fees for life, sign up to BitGet, BitUnix, or BingX with the links down below. Again, you'll get the 15% discount for life with any of those exchanges, and you'll help me and help the channel. Sign up to those links, we'll play a quick ad, and we'll jump back in. I'd like to introduce our partner, BitUnix. BitUnix is a global, non-KYC, no country restriction exchange, making it a perfect exchange to trade on if you're from the USA, from Canada, the Netherlands, or just prefer to trade without KYC. This exchange is a futures and spot exchange with over 200 different trading pairs and some of the lowest fees in the game. If you sign up with my link down below, you'll get access to 15% off your trading fees, as well as an exclusive reward center where you can claim up to a multitude in USDT prizes. So go ahead and sign up with my link down below for 15% off, and I'll see you in there. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get stuck back into it. So taking a look at the macro price action. And yes, it has been long adieu, and Bitcoin has finally done it. It has finally closed a daily candle above the range high. Now, if you've been following our channel, you would have known we have been expecting this for a very, very long time. Essentially, this entire channel, we have been saying eventually we are going to see the price action break the range high as a descending channel formation is a bullish consolidation structure. And if we take a look at the weekly chart specifically, we can see a massive change of strength occurring on Bitcoin over the past few weeks, notably on the RSI and the price action itself in this particular period, which was the date from around the 9th of September onwards. We saw an incredibly bullish positive momentum shift. Essentially, the momentum in this channel formation was moving down. It was negative up until the 9th of September when the weekly RSI broke upwards. We saw for the first time the momentum flip positive. That was indicative of, again, the sellers during this channel, the sellers exhausting, the buyers taking control, and we saw that reflect in the price action. Moving to the daily, over the past few weeks, we have seen a massive change in the way the price action has been moving. Since that low, moving forward, what we have been seeing is higher lows develop and higher highs develop. This is again an indication that buyers are in control of the trend, as opposed to what we saw prior, where momentum was negative. We saw lower highs developing and we saw lower lows developing. So we saw a significant shift in the structure and the way the price action was moving, which massively increased the probability for a break upwards. And we've been saying for the last couple of weeks, we saw the momentum flip positive on the weekly. We have been seeing lower highs, higher lows develop, and higher highs develop, which massively increases the probability here for a breakout on that weekly chart, which is exactly what we have seen now for Bitcoin. So what does this really all mean for Bitcoin? Where is Bitcoin likely to go? What are our resistances? And how low can Bitcoin go from here while still remaining bullish? So let's discuss that first point. How low can Bitcoin go while remaining bullish? What could we really see Bitcoin do? If we were to see a correction from here, if we were to see this level fake out, if we were to see a correction back down, the only thing that really matters is how the price action is moving. The structure is very important, but the strength beyond the price action, actually how the price action is moving, is a really good representation of the buyers and sellers in the market, what they think about the price action, how they are acting. So taking a look at these lows, we're developing these higher lows. Provided we continue to develop higher lows, no matter if we actually see a correction, the price action is likely to continue in a macro uptrend. And that is why we are looking very closely at this daily RSI. If at any point we see that daily RSI break down, we will likely see a correction for Bitcoin. Now, here is the thing. If the price action is able to move up, and then we see the correction will not take us back into the consolidation. But if we were to develop a correction from this point and we eventually see the RSI break back down, we could see a steeper correction for Bitcoin. However, that is a very unlikely scenario, since we have broken out of the macro descending channel formation. The reason I am telling you this is because if we do see a fake out develop here, it is unlikely that fake out is going to change the macro outlook for Bitcoin, provided our daily RSI is able to sustain. Meaning any correction we get is likely going to be a good opportunity for continuations upwards and healthy pullbacks of the price action while these higher lows are continuously developing and while the momentum is remaining positive. So let's talk about our breakout and current resistances. Obviously, on the daily chart, we have broken out. Our next key levels of resistance are represented by our prior rejection points. As we can see, our prior rejections all have occurred within this range. If we draw a horizontal box, every single rejection except that first high, we have rejection number 1, rejection number 2, rejection number 3, and rejection number 4 have all occurred between the price points of 68,000 to 72,000. So this area is going to be a massive area of resistance for Bitcoin. Even though we have broken out of the downtrend, this is still going to be an area of resistance, meaning we do not expect the price action to rapidly move through this region. We do not expect a massive God candle in this region. It is likely we see a slower grind upwards if we do, or a pullback first and then grind upwards, as opposed to an immediate God candle. If we are wanting to see that kind of volatility, that bull run volatility, that massive move upwards, it is likely to only occur upon the breakout of 72,000. Again, 72,000 will clear those first rejections, that strong high. But of course, clearing 72,000 will put Bitcoin in the low historical resistance range, as per the VRPV dropping off into nothingness, again representing the possibility for a significant increase in bullish volatility, and thus the price action will likely shoot upwards very aggressively to our next targets. So let's talk about that. Where could this range really take Bitcoin? If we zoom out, the targets for this range are simply based off a measured move. The measured move being 0.1, we take the low to the high, the depth of the channel, we apply that to the breakout point. We know where that is now, which is right over here. The measured move of this range is going to be around $83,700. So provided the range high is able to sustain, provided the daily RSI is able to sustain, and if we do see corrections, provided the prior lows at 58 are able to sustain, the likely next target for Bitcoin on the higher time frame, where a macro reversal could develop from, is going to be 83,000. Now, at what date will we reach that? That is something we'll discuss in just a moment. We do have a date range for when this move could play out, but as per a target, that will be the next macro target for Bitcoin. So overall, a fantastic breakout. We're not going to see a God candle to the moon immediately. Anyone who expects that is really pulling at straws, but this is a fantastic start for what could be a continuation into a new all-time high. I would really like to urge everyone to remember, although we have broken out, we are now in an area of resistance. Until this resistance clears, it is unlikely we see a massive rally upwards, but we have now kick-started a move that could now take us into the all-time high region. And as per our measured move of the channel, the structural representation is going to indicate that we are going to see 83,000 in the months to come. So fantastic, provided this chart remains bullish. So let's move over to the macro charts. Now, we talked about the possibility for top dates. We talked about two theories. Now, these two theories we have been discussing on the channel for a long time. In fact, if you move back to our videos all the way back in 2022, even during the periods of June 2022 into September, August, and November, this period over here, we were discussing these top dates. We were discussing these theories, and these theories are very simple. They actually look at historical breakouts of the yearly bear market resistances and prior monthly all-time highs to project when Bitcoin could potentially top, not in terms of price, but in terms of date. So let's take a look at these theories, starting with these two theories, the 12 and 18 bar theory. What we're going to be taking a look at is we look at the monthly candle close of the prior all-time high. We apply a measured move in terms of date to the next all-time high. We have got 8 bars. Next one over here was going to be 12 bars. This is going to be our 12 bar theory. We take the longest amount of time in our theory and we apply that to the monthly breakout of the prior high, moving forward 12 bars. That takes us to a date of March. So our initial top date is going to be March 2025. Okay, now we take a look at our 18 bar theory. Our 18 bar theory is going to be from the point of which the monthly candle closed above the bear market resistance. Okay, not the prior high, the bear market yearly resistance. We take again a measured move, we apply to the top. This is going to give us 18 bars. Again, a measured move to the top. This is going to give us 16 bars. We take the 18, which is the largest. We apply 18 to that same similar point, the yearly breakout or the monthly breakout of the bear market resistance. The 18 bars takes us to April 2025. So by March to April 2025, we will have expected the top for Bitcoin to have been in. So either we top between March and April 2025, or by those dates, the top is likely to have already occurred. That is the 18 to 12 bar theory. Taking a look at the price action, that would place the top for Bitcoin in this pocket. So we zoom out over here, that would mean April, March, so March to April, let's go ahead. This particular area here will be the top for Bitcoin. This date area, this may be at 80,000, maybe a little higher, but this particular date range in this vertical region is when we expect the top to be for Bitcoin based on the 12 to 18 bar theory. Now, can this theory be incorrect? Yes, it is not meant to be precise. It is meant to be a general guide, meaning if we approach those date ranges, if we approach April, March, and we have not yet seen a top, it might be a good time to start to take profits. If we have approached March to April and we have seen what would we consider a possible top, it is probable that that was the real top and we should take that at more of a face value. So we can use those date ranges to kind of reassess how the market is going and reformulate our decisions upon March and April 2025. Moving over to the weekly charts, as we have been saying for a long time, we get a lot of backlash to these statements, especially when Bitcoin's in a downtrend. Bitcoin's bullish. We've said for a very long time, the macro charts for Bitcoin are exceptionally bullish. There is nothing bearish about the macro charts from a technical perspective. While we remain above the weekly Gaussian channel high and the Ichimoku cloud, we are macro bullish according to the weekly charts. Taking a look at prior cycles, while we remain above the weekly Gaussian channel and Ichimoku cloud, we are in a macro uptrend. And while we remain above these levels, the price action continues upwards until we break below both. We break below both here, we enter a bear market. We break below both here, we enter a bear market. And only upon the point of which breaking below both of these levels have we historically entered weekly and macro bear markets. So it is wise to assume that while we sit above these levels, the price action has the possibility to continue higher. So again, our bear market validations, we are watching for a loss of the upper band of Ichimoku cloud and the loss of the leading span A on the Gaussian channel and the leading span A on the Ichimoku cloud to suggest possible macro corrections into a bear market. And if we really want to see a bear market start, watch for a breakdown of 49,000, 48,000, the yearly level of support. A loss of that will likely result in a bear market. However, we don't expect that to happen immediately. Let's jump over to the short-term price action. So yes, Bitcoin's broken up, absolutely fantastic stuff, but we do run the risk of a correction. If we take a look at prior price action, we've seen similar structures where we've had these long extended grinds upwards along diagonals, only for then these diagonal levels to break down, and we see these short-term corrections before developing uptrends again. It is very plausible this would still be considered a macro uptrend, but it is plausible and possible that if this uptrend were to break, we could see a correction back into our lows at 63,000. Again, we are looking at these prior areas of support. Now, even if we were to see a breakdown here and a correction into that region, 63,000 would still be considered a lower, or should I say a higher low on this price action. This is 58, so 63 would be the POC. We would still see a higher low develop and a continuation upwards. So do be aware that a breakdown of this trend line could facilitate that correction. Now, if we do not break below this trend line, eventually this trend line is going to take us into that 70, into that 72K region. So it could be used as a trampoline for a continuation and then into that parabolic kind of move up into the 80K region. So again, while we sit above the trend line, expect continuations upward. If we drop below the trend line, that is when we should start to be looking for short-term pullbacks and pullbacks back to bases of high time frame support. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you in the next one on Monday. See you then.